So I just gotta wait for them to load me now and bring me out my paperwork, and then be headed out to Grand Rapids. So that's the plan. So I got dispatched on low, right? And I had to drive like an hour. I don't know, probably like an hour. Yeah, about an hour or so, maybe a little longer, an hour and 15 minutes or whatever. I get to the place, right? They say, now I had to drop a load off first. Yeah, I had to drop a load off first. That's how it went. So they held me up. So by the time I got to the place, it was 3:30 on a Friday. It was 3:30. So they had left a message in the guard shack saying the people that's supposed to load me, because they ended up leaving. They left a message in the guard shack saying I was supposed to be there at 1:30. Now, mind you, I was getting unloaded an hour away at 1:30. So my boss says, "Hey man, we booked you another load." I said, okay. He said, "I just want you to go there, pick up the load, and bring it back to the yard." I said, "Cool, no problem, I do it." So I do it. I get there. They say, the guard shack people say, "Man, you're supposed to be here at 1:30, man. They are the people that's gonna load you. They already gone home for the day. It's 3:30. They already gone. They left." I said, "Oh, okay." So I called my boss and told him. You know what he said? He said, "Well, I got on Google and it said they was open till 5 o'clock. So why, I don't understand why they not gonna load you." I said, "Man, you base this load off of Google Maps, Google directions, where they tell you what time they open and what time they close. That's how you put this load?" He said, "Yeah. I mean, I just want to see, what's the latest they're gonna be open." I said, you didn't ask the broker this information. You just use Google Maps?" I said, "Oh, okay." He said, "Yeah." I said, "You know what? No problem, bro." I said, "Listen, I'm gonna need to get paid for no. So when my check came that following Friday, I didn't see that run in there. That time and energy I put in, to get there, so that way I can make some money and that way he can make some money for his company. So I didn't see that run in there. I ain't see nothing in there like here you go, for going there, looking out, doing your part. Despite I was looking on Google Maps and thought, we could be there at a different time, here you go for the effort. I ain't get none of that. I didn't even see it in the check. So, of course, you're gonna get that phone call. You're gonna get that phone call Friday morning when I get my settlement. Usually the settlements come out like Thursday night or whatever. Sometimes we get paid on Thursdays, sometimes we get paid on Fridays. Whatever, however they put it in. But we mostly get paid on Fridays. So I didn't see the effort in my check. I didn't see the effort at all. So I said, that run that I did to Adrian, Michigan, I don't see, no effort in there. I don't see no pay for driving there, shit. That's 2 extra hours right there of just driving around, just random. So I don't see no effort in there that I should have got something. I don't even see the effort. He say, "Oh man, we didn't book that load, so we didn't make no money. So I can't." I said, "Man, hold it right there, man. Hold it right there, man." I say, first of all, you was trying to figure out what's the latest that I could get there by looking at Google Maps for a pickup. First of all, that's your fault. I know better than that, and you know better than that. But you let that shit slip out your mouth. So now I'm holding you to that shit. So he say, well, how much do you think it's worth to you? I said, man, you know what? See, that's the shit that you be fucking me. You be fucking with me with that shit. You know, if you'd have put $50 or $75 in there and said, hey man, you know, that was for the effort, or you know, to try, you know, to get there to get the load or something, I would have respected that. But now the fact that you say, man, so how much you think it's worth to you? You know, we didn't make no money off that load, so how much you think I'm supposed to give you? I said, well, how much you think it's worth to you? Me as your driver and driving all the way out there, you know what I'm saying, to get that load, and then you talking about you on Google Maps to see what time they open and close type shit. Well, what is that worth to you that I went out there and did that for your company? He's like, I don't know, I was just wondering what you think or whatever. I said, man, you know what? He's like, man, okay, I give you like $50, $75. I said, man, you know what? Alright. See, whatever, I'm gonna leave it up to you and see what you give me, because that's gonna tell me how you feel about it as your driver, as a representation of your company. It's gonna let me know. It's gonna let me know. You know, just the fact that you give me something lets me know you was thinking about me. You know, and the fact that I spent time and energy, you know, for you and your company to pick up a load that you was gonna make money off of, but because you didn't do your due diligence and homework, you jacked that up, but you still left me out here with time and energy wasted that I didn't even get paid for. So at the end of the day, I'm trying to see how you feel about it. You know, I'm really trying to see how you feel about it. So, you know, he told me, but I had to, you know what I'm saying? But I had to go in on him. I had to go in on him. Why do I gotta go in on you about something that you should automatically know that you should be giving me, or at least showing me you appreciate? I know I didn't pick up a load. I know that. I'm not asking you to pay me $200 or $300 for trying to go pick up a load. I'm just saying, show me an effort on something. And when you don't do that, then that's when I have a problem. Because now I'm looking at you like, okay, I'm gonna start doing the bare minimum. Fuck with you, bro. You know, I'm gonna start doing the bare minimum. Fuck with you. You know, just do the run that I'm supposed to do. If I got a dedicated run that I'm doing, just do the dedicated run. Don't do that extra shit. Don't go pick up another load, bring it to the yard. None of that type of shit. Because I see how you feel about it. As your driver, as a representation of your company. So I see how you feel about it. You always try to make it seem like I'm over the top about $25, $50, $75 that you just might owe me. See, closed mouth ain't never got fed. That's how that works. Closed mouth ain't gonna never get fed.